You can work with the gods in different ways depending on your tradition, beliefs, and personal beliefs. If you want to connect with the Greek gods, here are some basic approaches. 1. Determining who to work with first. It's important to understand who's calling you or who you want to interact with. Some ways to choose a deity: a sense of personal connection or interest. Symbols or dreams that are often repeated. A study of myths and culture associated with the gods. If you want to work with ads, it can be related to the themes of transformation, death and rebirth, wealth, justice. If with Athena, wisdom, strategy, knowledge. 2. Creating an altar or space for a god. To better tune into communication, you can create an altar or at least a small space dedicated to the deity. What can be on the altar? Images or symbols of a god, statuette, drawing, sacred symbols. Candles of the appropriate color. Plants and flowers, e.g. cypress for Aida, laurel for Apollo. Crystals and stones, e.g. obsidian or pomegranate for Aida, lapis lazuli for Zeus. Sacrifices and offerings. The offerings and the sacrifices the gods value attention, so they can be offered like this. They were done in ancient times. What can I bring? Food, honey, wine, bread, fruit, herbs and fragrances, incense, myrrh, lavender, rosemary. Coins, especially for the underground gods. Blood or hair. This is not necessary, but in ancient times in this way emphasized the connection with the gods. You can leave your tashs on the altar or bury them in the ground, especially if you work with the underground gods. Prayers and appeals. Prayer is a way of establishing a connection. No need to read standard texts. It is better to speak from the heart or use ancient Greek hymns. An example of a prayer to Aida: Great Hades, Lord of the underworld, the guardian of souls and justice, I ask for your patronage and wisdom. Help me accept the changes that come into my life, give strength in dark times and show the way of truth. 5. Symbolic action or ritual. Working with the gods often involves some kind of ritual action. It can be meditation or visualization, self-imagining in the kingdom of Hades, conversation with God. Writing a letter or request, can be burned or buried as victim. Visiting natural sites associated with the gods. Night practices. Signs and answers of the gods. The gods can respond through dreams, especially if they contain symbols associated with God. Omens and coincidences, for example, often encountering certain symbols, animals, objects. Sensations during prayer or ritual. Tarot cards, runes, oracles. Respect the gods and keep your promises. If you asked for help and received it, it is important to thank and make a promise. For example, present a victim, conduct a ritual acknowledgements. Important. Do not treat the gods as executors of desires. This is a partnership, not a deal. If you work with underground gods, it is important to close the ritual well so as not to accidentally open gate between the worlds. Working with the gods is a personal path. There is no single the right way.